presentation, I just want to say my mission is simple. I'm here to make you money. I'm going to offer you a little bit of research and a little bit of insight on an investment product called an ETF, and a specific one. It's going to offer a level playing field for your exposure to the finance industry. And I believe that there's a bullish market everywhere. You just need a little bit of help. And knowing that you're an independent woman, even walking into the storm, you don't walk in there without checking the weather app or understanding which way is the best way to go if things got serious and there was a tornado. So just like that, in the finance industry, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to have a helping hand. Even if you choose not to work with me or the firm today, the number one takeaway from this presentation is remember to always not be afraid to ask questions or seek out help from a financial advisor. Who am I and what are my credentials? I've been investing in the U.S. stock exchange since 2009, so that gives me 11 years of personal experience trading equities. I got over 2 years experience as a fund manager in the Westchester University Investment Club, managing over $50,000. I got my bachelor's in finance at Westchester last year, and I am currently enrolled at Florida Atlantic University, earning my master's in the science of finance. While we were on the phone, and while we talked, and just knowing who you are, you made it very clear that you have zero interest in low paying investments, such as bonds, and being less risk averse. You are more a fan of risk. However, I want to point out a product that allows you to get exposure to risk at the same time of minimizing some unnecessary risks. And the product that I want to offer you is called an ETF, an electronic traded fund. Think of it as an Easter egg basket. Each egg in the basket is a different company. And the Easter egg basket that I'm recommending is called iPay. It's an ETF that is focused on finding companies that are high market cap, high growth in the electronic payment system industry. So if you're a credit card company, or if you're involved in the credit card processing, or even if you're involved in electronic payment systems such as Venmo or PayPal, it's most likely in this fund, and it will allow you to get exposure. So these are the top 10 companies in the ETF, iPay. You'll see some familiar companies here that you're probably happy to see on here, such as PayPal, which owns Venmo. We have Visa, which is the credit card company, and also they own the technology that allows them to transact 20 million transactions per minute all across the world. Then we have MasterCard, American Express, Pfizer, which they do electronic payments and payrolls for companies, and Visa also pays them to handle some of their transactions. Square, which is a credit card reader. So all these companies are going to allow you to get exposure to finance industry, especially electronic payments. However, you're not going to experience one hit. If you chose PayPal alone, and then the CEO came out with embezzling $300,000, and PayPal then faced bankruptcy, this minimizes some of that risk. Now, I'm showing this graph. This is a 5-year graph. You made it clear to me that you are a long-term investor, that you're willing to sit in it for over 5 years. The red line here is the S&P 500, and the blue line above it is the iPay ETF. Now, some key things to see here is the volatility of iPay differs greatly than the S&P 500. That'll be explained by the beta coming up. But another key figure to see here, in this 5-year period, you would have received 90% investing in iPay, while if you would have stuck with the market, you would have received 47% in this 5-year time period. And now we're going to look at a couple measurements of risk. On my right here, we have a chart that's made by Morningstar that shows it's used to measure the investment valuation for mutual funds and ETFs. So we see if it's a value, a blend, or a growth-driven, and size large, medium, and small. iPay falls into large market cap companies with high growth perspectives, which Visa, MasterCard, PayPal all do, considering Morningstar also says that e-commerce is expected to grow at 11% each year for the next 5 years, and e-commerce is driven only on electronic payment systems. The beta here is 1.28, which offers you a little bit more risk than the market, which I know that you are a fan of. It'll pay a little bit higher returns, but it is not ridiculously risky. The number one takeaway or the number one rebuttal about this investment, in my opinion, at this current time, is market timing. I don't believe that there's a great time right now to fully say I want to put all my money in one thing, or I want to go full position at one time, because I don't believe that there's a right way to time the market at all right now, considering current market conditions with the pandemic. However, my proposed strategy would be, considering your current trading portfolio is about $120,000, $130,000, let's take a small $10,000 position and split it up each quarter in $2,500 investments each 3 months. That way you can get a better price control, whether you get it at its all-time high or you get it down at its low and at the medium. Eventually it'll equal out. It'll give you, in my opinion, a much more confidence when you're investing in this company. So the first thing I want to point out is that past performance is not indicative of future results, and please don't rely on everything that I said and how they've been performing in the past to necessarily expect the same returns. However, in my opinion, I believe that adding iPay as an ETF, considering you only hold solely pure companies right now, it will add a lot of value to your portfolio. It will expose you to a different part of the market that you were never invested in, while maintaining some unnecessary risk, because even in the market, yes, higher risk, higher reward, but you don't get paid higher reward for unnecessary risk. And as I pointed out, picking one company, and if they fail, you're missing out on all that opportunity of the entire industry and the whole entire purpose of investing in that company, which in this case, in iPay, would be expecting electronic payment systems and electronic payment system companies to further as we're heading towards a cashless system world. I would love to hear back to you before Friday. Let me know what you think, what your choice of action would be. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask me right now, or if not, you have my email, and I'll give you my business card. Here it is. Thank you again.